Okay, 5-minute video on the Pennyless permaculture greenhouse. We've got 3 hoops. They're not very expensive. One was in a bit of rough shape, had to bend it back a little bit. The sheet goes over the top, almost new. Dug into the ground each side, dig them in, 30cm trench each side of the greenhouse, make it nice and wide. And if you can get your greenhouse on contour, that will make you a swale on either side. Why a swale on either side? Well, if you look at the edge of your greenhouse, if you haven't done this, either side of the greenhouse grass grows like buggery because the water runs off the greenhouse and down, and on the other side it runs off the greenhouse and down. This is an edge zone. This is a classic permaculture edge zone. An edge in between the greenhouse and the grass. So these edges go around to the south side. The south side's going to be for some strawberries, some other bits and bobs. That's in full sun. Every time there's a spatter of rain, that's all going to get collected in this swale. That swale is now full of hay, soil, compost from the dry toilets, from last year's dry toilets. I'm going to put some BOF and some wood chippings on top in a minute. And it's all held back by some big bits of wood, and there's a few branches in there as well. We can grow loads of stuff on that. And on the north side, done the same thing. And underground, this is all connected because I've dug that. So the water coming off on the south side will run off, and the overflow will come onto the north side, northwest side, where I'll be able to grow rocket and summer lettuce. Even when it's really hot, they'll be in the shade, but still have the heat of the greenhouse. They won't get that sun scorching them and making them go to seed. There's another opportunity. We'll do the same round on the northeast side, and on the east side we've got our gable end. That's just made out of roofing battens. Roofing battens laid on the ground in the right shape you want, on a nice flat floor. Stretch your plastic over the top. I just held the bits of batten together with staples where they meet. Stretch the plastic over the top, staple the plastic on, and then laid more battens over the top. And whichever way the jointing was in between 2 bits on the first layer, I did it the other way around on the second layer, and then nailed it all together. Brought it out of the workshop, stood it up, and that is my greenhouse gable end. I've got 2 little butterfly catches. That's 2 screws and 2 bits of batten. Take that off, open that one, and we can take the door away. In we go. The only thing left to do is to put a little ventilation trap on the back end. The back end, I didn't have enough plastic left to do a whole gable, so I had strips. So I put some battens in vertically, stuck them in the ground, wedged them in underneath the arch at the top, pulled my plastic across, starting at the bottom, overlapping, and that's got my back gable end done as well. And I can just put some battens in horizontally in one of the sections at the bottom and one at the top, and make some ventilation when it gets hot. We're only at the end of March, it's not hot enough yet. So what else have we got? To the right we've got a raised bed. In the back we've got a raised bed. To the left we've got a raised bed. And the raised bed at the left is too wide, even for me. So I've just cut some keyholes into it. They're not really keyholes, they're more like key teeth holes. It's a bit sharp, but now I can get at everything now. I can get in there, and I can get at all this space. I get in and weed and plant, water if I have to. These raised beds made of hay, soil, compost, wood chip, and I've planted in there some comfrey. There's a little comfrey plant just coming up, and there's another one over behind the watering can. They'll give me pretty much enough mulching material later. These are Chinese cabbages. One went to seed last year, and some of the seeds came up before Christmas. So I brought them into the greenhouse. They've gone mad, and they think they're in their second year. Well, they are in their second year of life, so they've gone to seed without making anything edible. But that's great, because they're not for us, they're for the slugs, because slugs prefer Chinese cabbage to any other delicacy. We can even see, look, there has been Didn't think there had been, but there has been some slug activity. They've come in and they've had a go at the Chinese lettuce, and they haven't touched my salads. And they haven't even touched my radishes. That's radish, carrot and white salad onion, all sown in the same row, thrown in. Up the back, there's my leek nursery. That's full of leeks. There's some more leek nursery. Now, these two black plastic bins, those are specifically for heat exchange, so they're full of water, and any excess of heat in the day builds up on the bins, and you see it when it gets hot. There's condensation all up the sides. The condensation drips down, waters again the raised beds, only a little bit, but every bit helps. And at night when it gets cold, that hot water or warm water gives back the heat into the greenhouse and tries to keep the temperature reasonably nice. I come in here at first thing in the morning. It snowed last night. It's freezing cold this morning. Didn't freeze, but there was snow on the ground this morning. Came in here, it's lovely and warm. I had to take my coat off. Watering can as well, always in the greenhouse, always full, so that the water, if we do water anything, is at the right temperature. It's not shockingly cold, especially for baby plants. Very important. So there you go, a greenhouse that has cost absolutely nothing. We had everything here. We didn't have to go and get anything. We had the plastic, we had the wood, we had the two bins, and we had the soil. That's all come from what we had laying around. Have a nice day.